third grade. So for today's lesson, we are going to break down the poem The House by the Side of the Road by Sam Walter Foss. I hope you enjoyed last week's videos where you got to listen to different people reading the poem. And today we're going to go through it and we're going to go over the questions that you guys had to answer. Some of you got a little confused on what the poem actually meant and what these words meant. So we're going to go through all of those different things. We're going to go through the poem, we're going to go through the questions, we're going to go through the vocab words, all of those things. Make sure you watch this entire video before you go and do today's work, because I'm going to review what you did last time. So there was some confusion. Some of you may have gotten confused in certain parts. This is a very deep poem, so I understand. So make sure you watch this so you can realize the things that you got confused. You can realize your mistakes. So when you go to work on today's work, you won't make those same mistakes. You'll do even better on today's work now because you'll understand this poem even better. Remember, I wanted you to try on your own first. Then I said I would go back and go through it. So that's today's lesson, okay? All right, so we're going to go through it. You're going to go through it with me. Think about it. Jot down some notes. Think about the mistakes that you might have made before. Or if you didn't, this should make it stick in your brain even more and you'll understand the meaning more. Readers always read it once through. Then they stop and they go back and break down each part. Ready? The House by the Side of the Road by Sam Walter Foss. Let me live in a house by the side of the road, where the race of men go by. The men who are good and the men who are bad. As good and as bad as I. I would not sit in the scorner's seat, nor hurl the cynic's ban. Let me live in a house by the side of the road, and be a friend to man. I see from my house by the side of the road, by the side of the highway of life, the men who press with ardor of hope, the men who are faint with strife. But I turn not away from their smiles nor their tears, both parts of an infinite plan. Let me live in a house by the side of the road, and be a friend to man. Awesome. Okay, now let's go through and think, what is this author talking about here? What is the man describing? So, literal meaning, let me live in a house by the side of the road. He wants to live in a house that's by the side of the road, where the race of men go by. So the race meaning all types of men, all types of women, all types of people pass by, go by his house, okay? The men who are good, so some of the people that pass are going to be what? Right, some may be good in his eyes, and the men who are bad. What do you think that means there? Yes, some of the people that pass maybe make some wrong mistakes and do some bad things. Okay? Oh, and pause right here, you guys. Miss Hill forgot to tell you this. Good readers, we said this the last time, good readers always close their eyes and visualize. Visualize what you're seeing. If you watched the video from last time, you saw that some of the people who were reading it, they put visuals to the poem. You saw that there were people walking by and there were houses. Okay, close your eyes and visualize right here. What do you see? Go ahead and do it. So when I close my eyes here, I visualize a house and I see people walking by, different types of people. I see women, I see men, I see children, I see tall, short, I see lighter skin, I see darker skin, I see long hair, short hair, different types of people. Okay? And then I see people, let's keep reading. Let's go back to reading. I would not, we stopped at the men who are good and the men who are bad. Let's go to the next one. Line 4. As good and as bad as I. That is very important. Let's stop there. We're all equal. Okay? So, literal meaning, we're all equal. We're all the same. Okay? Let's keep reading. I would not sit in the scorner's seat. Let's go to our vocab slides. A person who is not pleasant or agreeable. A scorner may complain a lot, get annoyed easily, and have negative things to say. So a person who is not agreeable, not pleasant, always want to complain and say negative things. Now let's go back to the poem. I would not sit in the scorner's seat. So he's saying I would not be like a scorner and sit in their seat. I would not say negative things about people or complain or judge them. I'm not going to talk bad about people. Good. So this man is saying I'm not trying to judge everyone and talk bad about them and say all the negative things. That's not cool, he's saying. Let's look at the next part. Nor hurl the cynic's ban. Let's go to our vocab. Let's find cynic. Here's cynic. A person who believes that humans are selfish and that they will only do something if it will help or benefit themselves. They have a negative attitude. So wait a minute. A cynic sounds similar to a scorner, right? Let's go back. Not hurl. Hurl means to like throw something or push something, to force someone to do something, or hurl like negative words out. Where's hurl? Here's hurl. Harshly speak rude words to someone. So he's saying I'm not going to harshly speak negative words to someone. Okay? And then the word ban. Let's find that one. That was not words. Here we go. Ban. Not allow or make it impossible, prevent or curse a negative act. So not allow. Not make it possible. So he's not going to speak harshly to people or be negative or make it impossible for people to have their feelings. He's going to accept people for who they are and not treat them rudely and talk about them. Good. Okay. So that's making me think that this speaker is saying, I'm going to be kind to people, right? I'm going to be kind to them. I'm not going to judge them no matter what they're going through. Let's keep reading. Let me live in a house by the side of the road and be a friend to man. Okay, so let's stop here. Stanza 1. What is this person saying? So at the end of stanza 1, I would say that the speaker describes different types of people. There are people that are good, people that are bad. People, all types of races that go by the house, right? And the man is trying to say that, but they're just as good and bad as I. So we're all equal, right? And he's saying, I'm not going to sit in this corner seat, so I'm not going to be saying negative things about them and judging them. I'm not going to hurl the cynic's ban. I'm not going to make it impossible for those people to feel the feelings that they feel. I'm going to allow all of this. And I'm going to show kindness because he said, I'm going to be a friend to man. So all of those different men that pass, they're saying man, but remember, woman, the word man is in woman. So they're meaning women and men, girls and boys, everyone. He's going to be a friend to them because everyone needs a friend and we're all should be treated equally. Sounds like he's reminding me of the people that we learned about in Hispanic Heritage Month and in Black History Month. All of those activists and people that fought for people's rights and for people to be treated the same, right? We should all be treated equally. Okay? Now, let's go to stanza 2 and break that one down. first line, line 9. I see from my house by the side of the road. So now he's looking out of his house. By the side of the highway of life. Let's go back to our vocab. Here's highway, especially one connecting major towns or cities. So lots of people on this road. A highway is a public or private road or other public way of land. Busy road. What he means by road and highway. Go back. I see from my house by the side of the road. That was one of our questions before. Just think right now. What do you think road might mean here? By the side of the highway of life. Okay, so is he just talking about a road like in a neighborhood? The vocab said it connects towns, cities. It's very busy, lots of connections here. So is he really just talking about a little city and neighborhood, or the highway of life? So that road is making me think deeper than just a little road on the side in neighborhood. I'm thinking that he means more by that. We'll think as we go to the questions. Let's keep going. The men who press with ardor of hope. Let's go to our vocab. Make sure you are doing this whole video with me before you go to the work, because this is going to explain everything. Ardor, enthusiasm, passion, a strong intense of feeling or love or enthusiasm for someone or something. So if you have an ardor of hope, you're really excited about something. You have lots of strong hope that things will go great. Intense feeling or love for something. Let's go back. The men who press with ardor of hope. So these are men who are excited, who have hope that things will get better, things will go great. Positive attitude. Okay? Now, the men who are faint with the strife. Let's go to our vocab. Faint. Small amount. Okay? Faint with the strife. They have a small amount or small chance, lacking strength. So these people are different. They don't have, look, lacking means not a lot of, small amount of strength or enthusiasm. They don't have a lot of strength. They don't have a lot of enthusiasm, a small amount. So that's opposite of the men that he saw before, right? Let's look at strife. Angry or bitter, disagreement, violent, conflict. So strife is like not having lots of positivity. Angry, struggle. You're going through a lot of problems. Okay? So he's saying men who are faint with strife. These men sound opposite of the men before. Let's go back to 5. I would not sit in the scorner's seat nor hurl the cynic's ban. So I'm not going to be negative and talk bad about people like some. And then you go here, the men who press with ardor of hope, lots of enthusiasm. And he says, here's what he said he does about that. Here's what he's going to do. But I turn not away from their smiles. So the people here have smiles. If you have ardor of hope, remember ardor means lots of positive enthusiasm and love, lots of hope. Who have lots of love and enthusiasm are going to have smiles. They're going to have smiles on their faces. Right? Close your eyes right now. Think about if someone has lots of love and enthusiasm. Close them right now and visualize this. What do you see? You see a person standing there. What are they doing with their arms? Probably have them up in the air, right? Like, yes. What are they doing with their faces? Probably have smiles on them, right? What are they doing with the rest of their body? Might be jumping up and down, might be hugging someone, right? So he's saying he's not going to turn away from those people. Then he says, nor their tears. But I'm not going to turn away from people with tears. Okay, go back to 5 and 6. A scorner, a cynic. Close your eyes. What do you visualize as a scorner and cynic? How would they look? Remember, a scorner is someone who's being negative, saying negative things about people. Or a cynic is one who doesn't believe that people are doing things to be kind. They're just doing things to be selfish. Visualize how that person might look. Or someone who's going through lots of strife, lots of problems. How might they look? What kind of look would they have on their faces? What do you see? I see frowns. right? They're not smiling. Their smiles are turned upside down. They're frowning. There may be tears because they're negative or they're going through problems. They're angry. There may be tears on their faces. They may be slouched down in their body, right? So he's saying he's not going to turn away from the people with tears either. Now go to the next line. Both parts of an infinite plan. He's saying we need both parts or both types of people for an infinite plan. Let's go to our vocab. Infinite. Let's find that. Endless or limitless in space or size. Impossible to measure without end. He's saying they're part of an infinite plan, that we need these people. Infinite meaning doesn't end. If he means it's an infinite plan, they're part of a plan, what doesn't end, you guys? Let's go back to the poem. This is pretty deep, right? We keep talking about life. This is about life, right? And the humankind. Even if one person's life ends, another starts. Aren't babies born every day? Yeah. So, hold on. Part of an infinite plan, I would say, is life. Life doesn't end. It keeps going. Think about when we learn in science about seeds, right? Fruit comes from the tree. How does it come? You plant a seed, it grows. Once the fruit is eaten, you take the seeds out and replant them. Or once a plant dies, their seeds go to a different place from the air and they drop into the ground, and then there's life again. So life continues. So he's talking about an infinite plan. That's life. And we need both types of people. If everyone was the same, life would be kind of boring. You've got to have good to know bad. We have to have dark to know light. So we need all types of people. Okay? So he's not going to turn away from people just because one group of people is sad and one group of people is happy. Or there's good and bad. He's not going to turn away from them. Right? Think about a good teacher. Your teachers, do they just ignore the people who are making the wrong choices and never help them? Do they only focus on the kind or the people who are being nice at the time? No, we have to love all of you. We help all of you. We're there for everyone because everyone should be treated equally. No one is better than the other. We're all going to have moments where we're happy and enthusiastic, right? Like Ardor of Hope right here. And we're all going to have moments where we are, have a negative moment, like a scorner, or have tears and be sad. That's normal. We all have that within us. Go back to where he said, as good and as bad as I. We're all going to have those moments. That's natural. Okay, let's keep reading. Let me live in a house by the side of the road and be a friend to man. Wow, repetition, he says it again. So that must be important to the deeper meaning or the message of this poem. He keeps saying, I'm going to be a friend to man no matter what they're going through. So people should be treated with respect and compassion and be kind to them, no matter how they are and what's happening. Does that mean ignore when they're being rude? No, but we still have to try to be kind to them and help them out. Okay? Now, let's go to our questions. You guys had to work on these questions. All right. Number 1. Even if you said, I did this already. Yes, you did. And I looked at your work. So I want you to listen to this because some of you got some of the answers correct and some did not. So let's go over it to make sure we understand it. All right. Number 1. Read line 1 from the poem. Let me live in a house by the side of the road. The speaker is using road to represent what? Hint. Think of the deeper meaning. Okay, let's go back. Let me live in a house by the side of the road. Remember we were talking about highway of life, road. Think deeper. Is he really just talking about a little road in a city? He's saying all types of men will pass by, all types of race, good and bad. Let's see. A neighborhood? That would seem very small. So he's saying everyone is going to be treated kindly only in my neighborhood. Would that be right? To only be nice to the people in your neighborhood? Only treat the people equally in your neighborhood? No. The world is bigger than just the neighborhood, right? So I would slash the trash on this one. B, life and humankind. When he talks about the road, let me live in a house by the side of the road. Is he talking about let me live in a house in this life, in humankind? Is he talking about everyone? That sounds kind of similar to what we were saying in the deeper meaning. So I would put a star next to B. But remember, good readers always look at all of the choices, right? C, friendship. Let me live in a house by the side of friendship. That kind of makes sense. Yes, we should have friendship. But does that mean, does the road mean you're going to be friends with, is he saying he's going to be friends with all these people? He's saying I'm going to be a friend to them by being kind to them? Yes. But the road is not friendship. The road represents something different. Let me live in a house by the side of a city. That doesn't seem like the broader meaning, the deeper meaning. That means he's only going to be kind to the people that live in his city, not all people in the world. I don't think you would just want to be kind to those people. You should be kind to all people. So which one shows all of the world? There's only one that shows that the most. Remember, you have to pick the best answer. There may be more than one that applies and that works, but only one of these answers is the best. Yeah, it's B, life and humankind. Okay, so the road represents the life all over the world. Okay, the road represents humankind. Okay, so B would be the correct answer here. You gotta go deeper, okay? If it was only A, C, or D, it would only be talking about one little thing. He's talking about all of life and humankind, all people, all humans. Let's go to 2. Which 2 details best show the type of people the speaker sees from his house in stanza 2? Pick 2 answers. Remember, good readers go back to the text. They don't look at the choices first. Go back to stanza 2. Where does he talk about the types of people? Let's see. See from my house by the side of the road. Is he talking about the people? No, he's saying I see from my house. This does not talk about people. By the side of the highway of life. This is still not talking about the people that he sees. The men who press, that's the people he sees, the men. And here, the men who are faint, right here. Then here, but I turn not away from their smiles. So they have smiles and tears. Here, right here, is where he's talking about the people. The men who press with ardor. We talked about that before. So if I were you, I would be jotting this down. What types of people? People with ardor of hope. So people that are enthusiastic about life, have hope and love. The men who are faint with strife, right here. People who have a little bit of problems, a little bit of strife, a little bit of struggle. I would write that down. These are the people that he's talking about. I turn not away from their smiles nor their tears. Their smiles, their tears. Is he talking about himself? No, he's talking about others. He said their smiles and their tears. I would jot that down. Okay, now let's go back to the choices. Which 2 best show the type of people the speaker sees from his house in stanza 2? I want you to notice that I continue to read the question again, even though I've read it before, so I don't get confused on what it's asking. Sometimes when you go back to the text, you get so caught up in the text, when you come back to the question, you've forgotten exactly what they're asking you. Always reread. Pick 2 answers. Sometimes you go back and then you forget that they told you to pick 2. Okay? Let's look at each choice. By the side of the road. Is that talking about the people and what they're like? No, that's talking about the road. The side of the road. So slash the trash. B, highway of life. No, that's talking about what he's seeing outside, where he lives. The highway of life. But that's not talking about the people. Ardor of hope. Was that in a line that talked about the people? Yes. The types of people. The men who press with ardor of hope. Those men are happy about life and enthusiastic. So I would click C. Okay, but we keep going because I would put a star by C. I wouldn't click it yet on my choices because good readers always go through all of the choices. Because you may think that's the right answer, then you get to D and E, and what if those are better? So now you've got to compare and see which one is right. Sometimes your answers that you jot down are right. Sometimes there's better answers in the choices and you were wrong. So you've got to read through all of it. D, nor their tears. Was that in the line? Yeah, where it's talking about people. Their tears. He's talking about those people and them having tears. So yes, I would put a star next to D. So far, I have 2 that I think are the best, but I could be wrong. I'm going to keep reading. E, and be a friend to man. He does want to be a friend to man. Does that answer this question, though? What does this question say? Which 2 details best show the type of people the speaker sees? And be a friend to man is not the people, that's him. That's the speaker. That's the author. So no, E is not talking about those people. It's talking about him. So I would slash the trash. So right now I have star by C and a star by D. I'm going to make sure those are the best ones. I'm going to look again, double check. Highlight light. No, that's not talking about the people. By the side of the road is not the people. Be a friend to man. Oh, that's him. That's not the people. Okay, Ardor of Hope, nor the tears. Yep. So I'm going to click C and D. Those are the right choices. Okay? I proved it because I went back to the text. All right, now let's go to 3. What does the speaker mean in stanza 1, lines 1 through 4 of the poem? What does the speaker think? Don't look at the choices, go back to the text. Where did it say to go? Stanza 1. Stanza 1, lines 1 through 4. What does he mean in these lines? What is he thinking? Go back there. Stanza 1 through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me live in the house by the side of the road where the race of men go by, the men who are good and the men who are bad, as good and as bad as I. See, if you did your thinking jobs chart, you have already written this down, what this means, what the man means by this, right? What the speaker means. The speaker means that he wants to live in a place in life where there's lots of different people who go by, good and bad, right? But he's just as good and as bad as them, as good and bad as I. So he's saying he's equal to them. They're not better than him, and he's not better than them. We should have compassion for these people because we're all alike. We all have moments like that. What is he trying to say? He's trying to say that he's equal to these people. He's no better than them, and he's not going to pass any judgment on them. Okay, now let's look at the choices. Some of these answers may make sense, but the best one that encompasses all of 1 through 4, right? A only talks about one line. Go back. A only talks about line 3. So that can't be the best answer if it's only talking about one part. Go back. B, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. B only talks about, again, line 3. That's not the whole thing. The best answer is going to talk about everything that's in line 1 and 4. Describing people who pass by. That doesn't talk about line 4 and as good as bad as I. That only talks about the people passing by. That's line 2 and 3. Nope, that's not the best answer because it doesn't talk about all of it. D, the speaker considers himself to be equal of all the people that he watches passing by his house. That talks about line 1, his house. Line 2, where the race of men go, they're passing by. Line 3, they're good and bad. Line 4, and as good and as bad as I, equal. That is the best answer. It talks about the entire thing and what does that entire thing mean to the speaker. So D is the best answer because it's talking about all of it. Okay? Make sure you pay attention to that kind of things and the steps that Ms. Hill is taking for that. All right. Last question. What is the central message of this poem? This one is really going to help you with today's work when you go into Monday's work. to do the CER. What is the central message of this poem? What does the speaker believe? Choose the best answer. Again, some may make sense, but there's only one that tells the central message of the entire poem. It doesn't say just stanza 1 or 2. It says the entire poem. So the central message, I'm going to go back and I'm going to read all of my thinking jobs and read the poem again. So I want you to go do that right now. So I only remember one part of the poem talking about hope. Let's go back. Let's find that. Here in stanza 2, the men who press with ardor of hope. That's the only time he talked about hope. So I wouldn't say that's the message of the entire poem. Yeah, that's true. People should have hope, and that will help them want to keep living, but that is not the central message of this entire poem. That's only one part. B, the speaker believes it's good to offer criticism to help people improve. So criticism is like the cynic and the scorner, where they critique or criticize. You tell people what they're doing wrong or what they can do better. Now, giving people good criticism, that's a good thing. Your teachers give you criticism. We're saying, hey, you need to work on this, or you can do this better. So that's not a bad thing. But in this poem, they're not talking about that. They said scorner. A scorner is not giving positive criticism. Remember, we looked up the definition? Scorner is being negative. Cynic is being negative. They're not giving positive criticism. So B says the speaker believes it's good to offer criticism to help people improve. Did the scorner and cynic give good criticism to help people? No, they were being rude. They were being harsh. Remember? Yeah, go back. Hurl. That was harsh words. Cynic means that no one is doing things for others. They're being selfish. So no, B wouldn't work here. Speaker believes it's good to offer criticism to help people improve. The speaker probably does believe that, but that's not in this poem. You have to answer. You have to have evidence from the text. This article, this text does not talk about giving criticism to help people improve. It only talks about the people that give negative criticism that doesn't help people improve. So I would slash the trash there. I would slash B. C, the speaker believes that all people should be accepted as they are. Does that match our deeper meaning? When we wrote our deeper meaning, people should be accepted for who they are. So go back. Yeah. He said, I'm not going to scorn people. I'm not going to hurl cynics ban. I'm not going to criticize them. I'm not going to treat them differently, as good and as bad as I. He said, they're just as good and bad as I. We're equal. He said, I'm not going to turn away from their smiles and tears. I'm going to be a friend to man. Okay, let's go back to C. The speaker believes that all people should be accepted as they are. We wrote that people should be treated with compassion and kindness and treated with respect, no matter how they are, good or bad. They shouldn't be judged. That sounds like what we said. They should be accepted. Okay, so I would put a star next to C. Am I going to stop and say, yep, that's my answer? No. Good readers read all the way through and prove it, because what if there's an answer that's better than ours? Let's keep reading. D, the speaker believes that he should only sit and believe what people say. So go back to the scorner seat where they're giving criticism, negative criticism, and they're saying to people, telling them negative things, harsh words. I would not sit in the scorner seat. He said, I'm not going to listen to what those people say. No, he said, I'm going to treat them the same way, right? Equal, as good and as bad as I. I'm going to be their friend right there and be a friend to man. I'm not going to turn away from them. So should he just sit and listen to what those negative people have to say? No, he's saying, I'm going to be nice to people who have smiles on their faces and tears. I'm going to be a friend to man. So no, that's a slash the trash. So it sounds like C is our best answer. The speaker believes that all people should be accepted as they are. All right? Now, remember what I did here. I pulled up my steps for multiple choice. That's what I always do. I read the question, I write it down in my answer, my own words, I go back to my thinking jobs, and I go back to the text. And I look for that evidence. Okay? Then I come to the choices and I see which one matches mine. Or there may be one that's better than mine, so I have to prove it. And I have to go through each question, each choice, I have to go through each choice and see which one is best, go back to the text, put a star by it, slash trash, and then prove my answer. All right, friends? Now, it's time for you to do your CER writing for this poem.